Good morning. There's going to be no videos going with this today. I, I don't know. I'm so frustrated with what I see happening in the relationship space, if you will. I just want to set up my situation. I was working at a fast food spot about 19 years ago. I met this girl named Casey. I was smitten. I didn't know how she felt, you know what I mean? But it wasn't even like that yet. It was just me and the guys. We work with a bunch of guys. You're talking about the girls in front of you, and you're like, man, you know what I mean? Oh, that one. And Casey was always one of the ones I'd point out, like, oh, man, you know. Then one day, she had come in with a bunch of friends, and I was a manager, so I'm handing out checks and stuff. And she would come in, and they would sit at the seat way back, and they'd be like, oh, Sean, Casey, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, word? You know? But I didn't do that because I was young, and I was like, you know, I was being a man about it. It was amazing. We spent and she was with somebody at the time, so we spent 2 weeks, like, getting to know each other, blah, blah. And just 18 years later, we're married, we got a 16-year-old. I mean, we have the best relationship. We are best of friends. All the cliches, throw them, because they apply here. My son, who is 16, aforementioned, now what? Now I'm looking online, and I'm seeing what the fuck is happening. I got friends who I've never seen with girlfriends. I have a brother who seems to have gotten it together now, but his last few have been a fucking train wreck. And my son has a girlfriend who he seems head over heels about. He's 16, you know. Did my 16-year-old relationship last? No, it did not. Not to say it's not going to, but it's probably not going to. But what do I tell him? What do I tell him to look out for? Because what did I do? I paid for the first date me and my wife went on. We got pizza. I didn't take her to Nobu's. I don't even know what that restaurant is. I'm only saying it because that's what I hear. I want Nobu. We went to, I'm from West Seneca, New York, Buffalo. We went to Pasquale's Pizza. She ate one slice of pizza. I'll never forget that. Because I'm like, I spent all that money for a whole pizza. You ate one goddamn piece. If you ask her now, she'd be like, I was so hungry. She wanted to eat more, but she was so scared of how I felt about her eating more. It's stories like that. These are such good make you smile stories. And I feel like if people aren't getting the experiences, and just because, on TikTok, I saw this one bitch who wouldn't go out with somebody unless it was $200 dinner. Well, what? You just took out how many people? I would never be in that. I would never be able to afford a $200 dinner. So if you like me as a person, too bad. You'll never be able to get to know you. You feel me? So, and who are the people who can afford these rando $200, $300, $400 dinners? Do you think they're genuinely good people? I don't know. The people who put money first in my life have usually not been the best of people. Oh, and by the way, are usually pretty stingy and don't want to give it up. So, I have cognitive dissonance about, like, money equating value. I know, money is whatever. I don't see it that way. I'm a cook in a kitchen. My wife's she actually has a big girl job, but, like, we're not rich. We don't plan on being rich. We're good. We're happy. You know, got a big TV, got a decent computer set up, decent house that we rent, not own. But I'm 36. She's 35. You know? We already got the kid. We're good. What about the people my age who don't have the marriage, don't have the kid? I'm already 16 years ahead of you. Now, you might be ahead of me in career, and that's fabulous. Like, no shade, proud of you. But what are you thinking up at night? Oh, I wish I had my kid. I wish I had. I got that. I got that. My wife has that. My son has that. Now we work on getting the money up. So it's just a matter of how you do it and when you do it. But I'm a fucking proponent of you cannot plan. If you plan it, plan for it to be messed up. Just plans do not go right. I don't care how well you work it out. There will always be variables you cannot account for. I have an example for you. Say you're 32, making 30 something an hour. Great job. You wake up one day and you can't feel the right side of your body. Well, that variable just fucked you a little bit. So what happens if you don't have somebody to turn to when you're going through that? It's scary. I can only imagine. I had somebody, but I can only imagine if I did not have somebody, how fucking scared I would be. Oh, and by the way, twice I woke up in an ambulance after having a seizure. And who was by my side? My wife. Scared as shit, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, but she was there. And that's the fucking point of this, is I had somebody. Oh, and this works opposite. My wife, we were made for each other, by the way. My wife also had a grapefruit-sized brain tumor that almost killed her. Very sad. 9 months later, she had bacterial meningitis, which almost killed her again. So, and if she didn't have me to badger her about getting her eyes done, badger her about what is why are you ignoring this pain? She could have died. She would have died, and it's very scary to think about. But it's, again, these are all just little things that we're adding. That if we didn't have the support of each other, what would we have done? She would have died, and I would have probably went over the deep end on drugs. No, not probably. I definitely would have died of an overdose. Hence, therefore, put way more focus into the mate aspect, the human aspect. A job? A fucking job? Bruh. I'm sorry. It's not that fucking important. Me driving my son to school in the morning, that little 5-10 minutes, that's awesome. I love that. This was just I'm watching the TikToks and the montage of, on the third date he was having issues. He didn't want to pay for me on the date. Fuck all the way off. What kind of entitlement do you people? And it's not just the women, of course. It's 90% the women. Let's be honest here. But the dudes ain't no better. Let's be honest. Every dude I see who's trying to play the red pill, I tried. I was the good guy. Really? We all know people. Who do we know who's genuinely a good person? I know zero. I know people who would not go as far as to stab me in the back, but would definitely use opportunities to gain for themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the world we live in now. You just have to be aware of that. If you're not aware of it and it's happening, I can see how that would fuck you up a little bit. But if you're completely aware of it, let's be honest, I'm doing it to them also. It's just self-awareness, baby. Just know who you are. The rest will follow. I can't say I've always been confident about who I am, but I will say I'm confident now, baby. I'm confident now. So I'm gonna end this by saying to the young men out there, keep your grind up. I'm gonna say what a lot of the red pill guys aren't saying. Go up to the women, make them feel wanted. Make them feel wanted. That's going to put you ahead of some of the guys who are a little bit too scared or who have read into the propaganda so much that they believe every single woman on the planet Earth needs a $500 dinner. Those guys are ultra fucked. There is no saving them. But for the dudes who realize that that's just the extremely mouthy minority, and the majority of women want the good, sustainable relationship, you'll be okay. I promise you. Touch grass. Peace.